Hello and welcome back to Wario Land 4. On the last episode, we skillfully defeated Aerodent, a well-won victory. We did a good job and we beat the stupid mouse. Pats on the back all around. In this episode, we're gonna finish this mother up. This is the last episode, baby. We're gonna finish it, and we're gonna be done, and it's gonna be good. We're gonna have a good time while we finish this good game. For the upteenth time, there's been a lot of playing this video game in this video game. Many playthroughs of video game over the course of video game happening. This was an interesting let's play. A lot of replaying this game, which I love, but oh boy, you're probably not supposed to play a game, regardless of how much you like it, this many times in a row. I do not know how speedrunners do it without just, like, completely burning out on, like, a game that they have to... Well, I mean, they don't have to, like, get good at, but, you know, a game that they've decided that they are going to, like, get good at. Like, man, that must be an interesting, like, thing to do to keep the dream going. But yeah, this is going to be the last episode. I decided to combine the Golden Pyramid and the Sapphire Passage. So I imagine that this is a hefty boy of an episode. A big old lovable fat boy of an episode. A lot of boy to love. This boy is in need of your love. There's a lot of boy here, and the boy needs a lot of love to operate. So please, give your love to the boy. Slam those whatever buttons. I don't really give a shit if you slam any buttons. You know, you do what feels right to you. If you want to slam a button, do it. If you don't, you know, I mean, I was gonna say I don't care, but you know, obviously I appreciate it if you do. But you know, it's not that big. It's not that big a deal for me. I don't make my living on the platform, so I'm not bound by its laws. You know, whether I got a million dislikes or, you know, one view. The only thing that would be hurt is my pride, and that's already, you know, that's already pretty much non-existent. So hey, I'm the victor here. Actually, I guess Ure is the victor here this time, because he keeps stealing my money. A lot of spoils for him to go ahead and take now that there's you know, these Harriman Zetos. I almost completely forgot to say their name. These Harriman Z, since that's basically what it would end up being. These Harriman Z drop more money, so there's a lot more spoils for Ure to go after and to potentially take. So good for him, I guess. But, you know, this is going to be the end of Let's Play. A lot of narrative arcs reaching their conclusion. You know, mostly just, like, the game. But there is one I want to talk about, and that is the controller difficulty arc. My favorite anime arc, where, you know, the cool gamer guy, because they keep making animes about gamers, which I guess makes sense. You know, it fits within the demographic of, like, people who like anime are probably mad into video games as well, so let's make a video game of gamers, and then, you know, then the gamers will be like, yeah, that's me. I can get the cute Tomoe-chan. She can be my girlfriend. Oh, you know, cool Toboko-kun. He's gonna be my man. And you know what? Power to you. If you want to kiss a Goku, you kiss a Goku. This is America. You can do what you want. There are apparently very little laws stopping you from kissing a Goku. So go hog wild. But yes, the controller issues arc. I want to do a recap on it. I probably don't, because I always say we, because, you know, it's a collaboration between you and me. But it always feels weird whenever, like, oh, we failed, whenever it's, you know, it's very clearly me failing. This is the kind of relationship where it's a very toxic relationship where we share the successes, but only I accept the failures. To be fair, though, it's toxic on my part for doing that, but hey, who cares? I mean, maybe you care, and I appreciate it, but, you know, you get what I'm saying. But yes, the controller problem arc. So I'm just gonna recap. I'm gonna pull out my notes, and by that I mean I don't have any notes about this. I'm flying off the cuff of the seat of my pants. It's not it's the seat of your pants, the cuff of my sleeve. Off the cuff of you just generally say off the cuff. You don't say, like, off the cuff of my sleeve, off the skin of my teeth, off the cuff of the seat of my teeth. So when I was playing this game on normal mode, I played the game utilizing my my Switch Pro controller over Bluetooth, which went very poorly for me. And I don't know if Switch, interacting with the computer over Bluetooth had difficulties because of, Switch controller nonsense or whatever, or if the problem was more that I have a very cheap USB or Bluetooth USB dongle. It's probably that one more than anything else. Like, why would the Switch have? I don't know. I don't know enough about the topic to discuss it too much, but I'm pretty certain it's the fact that I have a very cheap USB Bluetooth dongle thingamajig, and probably just not the best connection coming off of it or whatever. So we started having connection issues. So I scrapped it for the hard mode playthrough because I was like, oh, I need something a bit more robust than a controller that will start lagging out at a moment's notice. So I made the switch over to a USB gamepad that I had, but unfortunately I started having issues with it, more so in the veins of its D-pad, because its D-pad was to be frank, just a little cheap, and I had difficulties with the directional inputs on it. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and kill these Harriman Z's. I'm just gonna say Z's instead of Zeto because it's just weird, and I don't say Zed, so it just feels weird to say Zeto, which would be an affectation of speaking Japanese. So it just doesn't come naturally for me to say Zed. So saying Zeto is like a weird offshoot that doesn't really make a lot of sense, even though that's what the enemy's name is. Romanized? Is that what you call turning Japanese words into English? I think that is. But yeah, the Harriman Z. Yeah, kill those because they'll give us difficulty later, so we might as well just keep them out of the way. And these guys will die as we roll on down. But yes, had difficulties with that. So whenever I finished hard mode, I bust out my Xbox 360 controller and moved over to that. But I had similar issues with the Xbox 360 D-pad because its D-pad isn't wonderful. I wouldn't say it's I don't like it at all. So maybe it is fair to say that it's terrible. But I never liked those round D-pads. I was getting the same problem where I would try to do a charge throw on Wario and press up, and then all of a sudden he'd be throwing something to the side, or vice versa. I had a lot of issues where I would just suddenly start. Actually, let's roll out of here. What the hell am I doing? Where I'd suddenly start slide dashing a lot because I'd be pressing to the right or the left or something. Then all of a sudden the game's decided that I'm pressing down instead. And has this Purple Pipe Puzzle Room been remixed in any way? Does not look like it. We're gonna go ahead and I was gonna say we'll go ahead and skip it since we have the money. But you know what? It's probably a good idea just to build up a little bit of a buffer. It won't take much time to finish this room, so we might as well just do it rather than me rushing to the end of the level as quickly as possible and then finding, oop, I don't have enough money to make the thing. So let's do this thing the right way, since I did this the wrong way initially, and not because I didn't know how to do this the right way, but because I was super cool and wanted to show off my cool alternate strats for completing that room, of course. Yeah, I had similar problems with my Xbox 360 D-pad, which I was using up until this episode, but after having difficulties with Aerodent, which weren't controller based, but I decided I need to be on the top of my game for the Golden Diva, because the Golden Diva will also be a problem actor in this scenario. I don't think she'll be as much of a problem as Aerodent, but we'll see. The timer will do the judging of difficulty from here on out. Well, all right, that's fine. That's fine. That's cool. It's not fine, cool, or good, but it's not the worst thing in the world. We'll just go ahead and accept what happened and move on. I thought she'd be a problem, so for this last episode, which I only decided would be the last episode moments before starting to record, because originally I was gonna do the Sapphire and Sapphire Passage and Golden Pyramid separately, but then I was like, hey, screw it, let's do them together. Why not? It's the last episode. We might as well have a long last episode. If you guys have watched this far, you're obviously invested enough to put up with the fattest boy that I can put up on this website. This boy is so long. I can only assume it's really long. like that Topaz Passage episode where it was like 2 hours and 20 minutes of raw footage, and then I edited it down into an hour, and I was shocked that I had to cut that much of it. Granted, I had to replay like basically every level of that episode, so it probably shouldn't have surprised me that it doubled in length. But for this episode, and I know I keep sidetracking myself, but I mean, you guys are used to it by now. Hopefully you're not just jumping into this episode, which wouldn't be the first time that people just jump in. We'll talk about them in a hot second. Let's finish this controller discussion. I am now playing on my Switch Pro controller again, but over a wired connection. I went and Googled around to try and figure out, like, I believe I mentioned a software that I was trying out to play like with a wired connection a couple episodes ago with my Switch Pro controller, and I couldn't get it to work. That is a lot of Totsumen. I think there weren't that many previously. That was a lot of guys. Maybe it's the same amount though. It just looked like a hell of a lot of them. Oh, hey, that's interesting. I didn't know that, but whenever you are full up on health and you have completed your health bar, enemies stop dropping little hearts and start giving you extra spoils. That's actually really cool. Good to know in this last episode. You know, we all can still learn things about this wonderful, good game. But yes, playing on a Switch Pro controller over wired. And I found out the reason I was having difficulty with those software was because those software were more so made to help you connect them over Bluetooth, which is weird because I didn't need any software actually to connect my Switch Pro controllers over Bluetooth, so I'm not sure what the deal is there. It was a program called like WinUsoft, like Wii with an N after it. There was like WinUsoft and WinU Pro, and they were originally made like to connect Wii U Pro controllers, which I also tried. But it turns out, like, you know, that's just for, like, you know, handling the connection and, like, emulating, like, X input stuff to make games, like, recognize them as 360 controllers instead of, like, their native stuff. So, like, you could use your, like, Switch Pro controller or whatever, like, in, you know, normal games. Because, like, I just kind of more or less lucked out that this emulator I'm using recognizes a Switch Pro controller without having to do, like, any X input, like, emulation. But, you know, I Googled around, you know, I realized the mistakes I made with that software, and I found a piece of software called Procon X Input, which, once again, emulates, like, the Xbox 360, like, input, like, whatever, that kind of, like, I should know, like, which words to use as a computer science major. I should know which words to use and stuff, but hey, I don't. Whatever. Who cares? I obviously don't, but it's supposed to emulate the Xbox 360 controller and let you do it over a wired connection, which is perfect for me because I have not had any controller issues thus far in this episode, which is great. That being said, the software, I ended up downloading an alpha release of it instead of the final, like, full build or whatever the most recent one was. And the reason for this is I Googled it, and the alpha release was the first one to pop up. So I downloaded it without, like, checking more, and then after I got this installed and working, I found out that there was a more recent release. And I was like, fuck it, who cares? It works. Maybe there are going to be some problems caused by it. But that's a problem for later, Zach. Now Zach is enjoying the last episode of Wario Land 4 with his friends, you guys on YouTube. So thanks for being here. We've completed the narrative arc with me returning to the prodigal son. The prodigal son of the Switch Pro. Oh, nope, I want my boy. Give me my keyser, please. Please return the keyser. We do luckily have double the money we need, so we should be looking pretty good for the most part. And oh man, we can escape so easily. The Harrymen there gave me so many troubles in hard mode. You know, just kind of bumping my head into them and stuff like a big dummy dumb. But now that they're gone, man, that was really easy. That was a good idea to come and clear them out before we entered the post-fold. I would pat myself on the back more, but I have been doing a whole lot of that. So yes, it is nice to be on the Switch Pro controller again. It's nice to have it be working nicely without any input lag from, like, a Bluetooth connection. So yeah, I also don't know if like the software is like super safe or anything, because it's just like, you know, some dude on GitHub was like, here's a thing, install it, I guess, and you'll be good. And I'm actually going to use my fast forward function here instead of resetting the game, because the game has started lagging a little bit on the like title screen. I'm not 100% sure why. I don't know if it has to do with this Procon X input, if it's like interacting with the game in a weird way or whatever. But here we are. So I guess I'll be utilizing fast forward more so than the soft reset command, just because that's where we are emotionally, on our well, I almost said new controller, but it isn't technically new, but you know, being able to use our good old friend properly, finally. And also, I do want to talk a little bit about D-pads, just while we're here. I saw some people say that the Switch Pro controller D-pad isn't wonderful, and hey, I can just fast forward through that. Nice. And you know, messing around with it, I can kind of see where they're coming from. It feels a bit clunky. I don't know a better way to describe it other than, you know, it's a little like a little clunky, a bit. Man, there are a whole lot of these guys. Let's see if we can get rid of a few of them. Can I punch them in the side? Cool, I can in fact punch them in the side. And once we start getting a bit of a leeway in this territory, we can go ahead and take care of them a little bit easier. Because I would like to get to the purple pipe puzzle room in the top left of this room. Oh, luckily once we get in here, there's a bit more of a leeway to deal with these guys. Oh, please come back. Oh, no, this is the door we come in through. I was like, what the hell is this door? But that's definitely the door that we entered in through. This purple pipe puzzle room looks like it's basically the same. Is there water down here? Yep, just water down here. Okay, I will gladly accept these wonderful donation and little hearts. I almost said heart chunk again, but hey, you know, who cares? It doesn't matter. Nothing in this life truly matters. Well, there's some things that matter. I mean, you could, you know, treat life as if nothing really mattered and kind of get through that way, but you know, that's not. We won't have a lot of fun that way. So let's have some fun instead. But yes, this Procon thing, it's working out fine for me. The game is, I've had a bit of lag on a startup, and I'm not sure if that is related to the Procon stuff, or if, you know, there's a different cause for it. Like, maybe Wario Land 4 has just become a bit slower, and it's old age from being played so many times in a row, and I don't know why I'm sticking with Zombie Wario as far as I am. I should probably just accept, oh, whoops, sometimes when I talk, my teeth decide to whistle, and I'm not exactly sure why. Science people, get on that. I mean, there's probably a very like simple explanation, like maybe my mouth becoming dry in such a way, or I've just formed a character, and you know, the kind of like same way you would whistle, and it just happens with me like blowing the air out of my mouth or whatever. But I don't know. That's just my guess. Yes, I'm not sure if this Procon stuff is completely safe. It seems to be fine. My computer hasn't been like, you know, completely like taken over by like foreign powers yet. You know, it's more secure than the American government. Ha cha cha. But you know, yeah, it's working out. It's good. I like it. I'll put a link in the description. The link I'll put will also be to the you know, the proper like release, the most recent one, as opposed to this just alpha one that I'm running, because I installed it and it's there and it works. So I might swap over to the other one maybe after this LP, just to see if like, oh hey, maybe if the lagging stuff is caused by that, I can just come back and kind of check it out. Why am I having trouble? Well, I guess the reason I was having trouble getting into there was because I was playing it a little safe with those birds being there. Okay, cool. I was worried that there might be a like a health container in here, which sounds a little silly, but with those birds being there, the Maui birds, I can't remember. You guys saw the previous episodes. You know what they're called. Maui. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. I didn't know how to say it then, don't know how to say it now. But I was like thinking like, oh, if there was health in here, I'd come and deal with these guys first, because we could potentially get hurt while dealing with this arrangement. And this is interesting, you know, an interesting way to make this arrangement more difficult without like actually changing it. I wish there was kind of more of that in this game, where it was like in shard mode, where an enemy or a change in enemy locations like made a noticeable difference in like the difficulty of an arrangement. Like, you know, that still wasn't like hard by any means, but it was much easier than just having to know, or you know, it was much easier, or it was a little bit more excuse me, It was more difficult than had you just had to know that you can do a charged run on the magic carpet, as opposed to previously where it was just, yeah, previously you just needed to know how to do it, and now it was like, oh, here's some obstacles. And man, they have put a lot of these birds in this level. The swing back and forth is starting to kind of make me, like, not get motion sickness, but it was throwing my eyes off in a weird way. But yeah, that's... Actually, can I just go ahead and do a run up without using the carpet? Yeah, cool. I don't know why I didn't think to do that. Always using the stupid carpet instead of, you know, just dashing up to it the normal way. And, oh, I see you there, you sneaky little boy trying to get me, catch me off guard. Is there a convenient way to get past these guys, or we're going to have to contend with them at all? Okay, here we go. Here is a clearing in the boys that we can get through. Oh, and there's money up there that we can go grab after we're done with this. Cool. So yeah, Procon input, it's in the description. You know, grab it if you're interested in it, but I will not vouch for the safety of the product because it is not mine. It's just some dude on, you know, I found the dude on Reddit, which is questionable. You know, it's just the GitHub project that, you know, was interested. It's working out for me though, so that is good. And I believe that's the end of our controller discussion. From now on, any problems, all me, baby. I have no course of arguing otherwise. Will that carpet come down? I think the carpet got stuck on something, but that's fine because we can come into this room and deal with it as we go. And I said, you know, I said that there'll be no controller issues, but I'm not 100% sure. I didn't do like a lot of testing or anything of it before I jumped into playing it. For all I know, this could just stop working in the middle of the LP, and then I could die, and then we could have difficulties. Don't think that's going to be the case, but, you know, it could happen, you know. Wilder things have happened, so I guess we'll see. And it doesn't look like this arrangement's changed literally at all. Kind of weird, you know. I think they'd do something to make this segment a little bit harder, especially since this is such a unique and cool room. I really wish we saw more mechanics like these, like these tubes that change enemy types, you know, throughout the game. Just because Wario Land 4 has a lot of like really cool mechanics that would have been nice to see expanded upon and such. Please get in the water so we can get out of here. But you know, it's Nintendo. They have the money to throw in, like, oh, here's a mechanic that will be used for one level, and that one especially, which is, here's a single room that utilizes it, which is insane. You know, you feel like you could build an entire level around that, you know, no problem, because, you know, I feel like and we're getting back to the transformation thing. I think I said, like, in episode 2, I would try not to, like, wax poetic about the transformations as much as I would like to. But transformations, they're the heart of the Wario Land games for me. You know, they're just such a cool, good idea, and they're so like, you know, Wario, like they've characterized Wario for me in a wonderful way. That Wario's just a dude who, like, you know, he's a very cartoonishy, like, villain. Like, you know, he just kind of takes whatever comes at him. You know, cartoony, like, antics happen, like, oh, he was squished by the thing and now he's a flat pancake, like in the cartoons, Ma, like the cartoons I like. Hey, you know, you light him on fire and he's fine. But, you know, it's so Wario, this kind of like this weird indestructible, I mean, he's not indestructible anymore, but you know what I mean, like this weird, just rough and tumble dude who will just take what is thrown at him and make the best out of it. And it's cool and good. So, you know, it's just a shame that there aren't more mechanics like, you know, the thing in that room that mess with the transformations more. Just because transformations, they're very cool. And this game does a lot of, like, cool, good things with the transformations, like we talked about throughout the LP. It is just a shame to see such a cool thing like that mechanic there just kind of go, oops, that didn't go great, and now the carpet's gonna die. That's fine, because we're gonna calm down. We're gonna keep swimming. I'm gonna harass this Goggly Blade. And we're gonna escape the level. What are we missing? We are missing one jewel piece and the compact disc, but it'll be fine because it'll be fine. I don't have a good excuse for that. I'm just gonna hope against hope everything works out, and we'll continue collecting treasure because collecting treasure will bolster our escape number. Like, you know, now we've made our 10K, but we could also potentially, you know, need more cash, which I'll go for. Yes, and thank you. We could use more cash to bolster out our number just in case I go over our time limit, which is looking like we might, since, you know, we still... Is that... Nope, that wasn't far enough. That's a problem, because now I'm going to need to leave the room and come back. Yeah, we are definitely going to need to come back, because in hard mode, there was a thingamajig over here. A jewel piece, which will be our last jewel piece. And man, we only have 30 seconds, so we have to get... We're not... I don't think we're going to escape this level in time to have 10k, so I'm probably going to have to replay this level, which sucks, but, you know, we can come back and do it at some other point. Oops, I've removed all of the... Yeah, you know what, we'll just come back... I'll come back for that jewel piece in addition to the other thing, so we can just escape the level with everything in tow. Well, we're not going to escape with 10... Maybe we can still escape with 10k? Doubtful, but, you know. Are there still 2 gems here? Because there's still 2 diamonds here that could go a long way in terms of bolstering out our numbers. Just crouch here. We'll get in here, get the compact disc, which will net us 500 more coins. So maybe we can escape with 10k, and I'll just come back for the jewel piece. Yeah, I think that's probably the smart plan to do. Because, you know, we can come back at any time until, like, you know... Because we can move on to the next level. We got the keys here. We don't need the jewel piece until we actually go fight the boss. And that just looks weird to see because I normally get all the jewel pieces. And it's starting to kind of like... It's activating my, ew, I hate the pinball zone senses. So I guess we'll continue into the fiery cavern and I'll come back either before we fight... Well, yeah, it'll end up being before we fight Catbat. Because I doubt something will happen. Well, I was going to say I doubt something will happen in this level that'll be so frustrating that I decide that I need a break and need to go back to, you know, the other level to just kind of chill out for a while. Oh, that was a rolling spot. I'm actually going to reset the level, and actually I can show you guys the weird kind of lagging I've been having. Like right there, like the Nintendo logo kind of hung, and it hangs here, and it's weird, and I don't really understand it, but here we are. I didn't realize that these were rolling spots. That one wasn't, but one of them in here was. It was kind of weird. I would have never expected it. Okay, that makes more sense. That's a very, not sharp, but, you know, the incline makes sense there. That is something I wish this game was a little bit better about, showing off which inclines were rollable. Usually it's pretty intuitive and you don't have to do, like, much guesswork, but sometimes it's like, oh, should I be able to roll here? It's the kind of thing that I'm not 100% sure how you would do it organically. Because, like, all of my ideas are like, oh, you know, maybe have, like, some kind of, like, different colored outline or something to illustrate a rollable surface. Whenever I think about it, I think about, like ooh, Shantae. Shantae is actually a very good comparison. Because I believe I complained in a past episode about games where you can't tell which pit is instant death and which is not, which isn't a problem in this game since there's no instant death pits. You know, an issue in games it's like, you know, an entire game is filled with instant death pits, but then all of a sudden there's just one that you were supposed to know that you could go down for, like, some kind of bonus, or, like, and, like, the good old days of, like, NES games, and games that had to be padded out with, like, BS because of, you know, low memory, like, space and stuff. You know, things like, oh, this was the critical path. You had to know that you could just go in this thing that in every other instance would have killed you. Oops, and that was bad. I cannot seem to keep above a single heart this episode. Hopefully I'll do a little bit better as we go on. Actually, is this a breakable thing? Nope, it doesn't look like it, but maybe if we get a full run-up? No, not breakable. It didn't look like it would be, but I never tried it, and we had the zone, the area to run up to it, so why not? I've always been, like, a big... what's the opposite of a proponent? An enemy of like weird dumb things in games like that where, you know, things aren't like completely clear or like easily readable. I always loved in Shantae, I don't remember if the Game Boy Color game does it. And I'm actually, now that I say it, I'm not 100% sure if Risky's Revenge does it either. But I know Pirate's Curse and Half Genie Hero do at the very least. Where if a pit is instant death, and basically all the pits in that game are instant death, Well, most of them. I said that without thinking, but there are a lot of instant death pits in that game. But that's also comparatively, like, you know, I'm playing Wario Land 4, where there are no instant death pits in this game whatsoever. Are we supposed to hit this right now? That doesn't look right, but I guess we'll roll with it. They changed. I feel like they might have changed up how this room worked a little bit. I'm not 100% sure. They didn't change the geography of it, so I don't feel like they did. The room just felt different somehow. I know Dr. Arrowstein's normally at the bottom instead of at the top, but it's not a big change. It was kind of weird. But whatever. But in Shantae, like, anytime there's a instant death pit, and I want my money, so I guess I'll take 100 of it and keep going. And I need to get better about these lava plumes. They keep getting the best of me. In that game, whenever there's an instant death pit, there's like weird like mist coming out of like the pits, and there's like wispy like skulls and stuff. So you can tell at a glance that, oh yes, this is an instant death pit. I should be careful about this. And I think I started to say something about these boys and then stopped. But those Ewows are weird enemies. Like, you know, obviously they only exist in this level, and they turn into the Yetis in the post-fold for this level. But they are like weirdly hard to... Oop! And he could throw his boulder over those rocks. I was not expecting that. They're weirdly hard to kill. You can really only kill them with a ground pound. Because, like, as you saw, whenever I do my tackling attack, which this should be a better name for that. I don't know. Dash, I want to call it a dash, but, you know, the dash is obviously the R trigger one, or LR. It can be either of the shoulder buttons. Yeah, you know, you tackle them, you can't kill them. You can only really kill them with a ground pound. Maybe you can kill them with a heightened, not a heightened smash, because you kill them with a normal smash, so obviously a heightened smash will take them out as well. But maybe you can kill them with like a full dash. It seems like it'd be kind of hard to pull off since they throw the rock upon like seeing you, so I don't know, they'd be hard to get the better of to test that. Nope. Okay, well, we've tested it, and I also kind of invalidated what I said, because while they do ready the rock, if you hit them, they are stunned for a moment, which seems to make them stop their, like, pulling out the rock. And in addition to that, dashing up to them moves at such speed that they can't really, you know, offensively get prepared before that. And how are we doing? Okay, there's going to be a lot of collectibles to get in the post-fold, so let's make the best of it. And I'm not going to let this Yeti get the better of me, so I'm just going to crouch, attack. Oh, well, I wanted to ground pound it, but whatever, it's fine. But yeah, those Ewows are weird enemies. It's odd to find an enemy that you can't kill with tackling. It's just so odd, and we do need to go in here, as we've learned, so we can come in here and get some goodies, and were we to go to the bottom, we would miss this entire room and be out of luck, which would probably be a problem, because I imagine that there'll be a jewel chest in here, since we are, you know, so low on jewels at this point. Can we break through the... Oh, yeah, cool, you can't break through the ice with this. Oh, yeah, you need to break through the ice with rolling. What am I talking about? I guess I don't know what I'm talking about, but what I do know I'm talking about is that I'm not going to miss this jewel chest. After I learned that this one was in here, and in my first hard mode playthrough, I did not have the same problem I had with the pinball zone and forgetting it. For some reason, I could remember to get this one, but would just completely blank on pinball zone, you know, secret room, jewel chest. And yeah, I'll come back for that. Even though we have 2 minutes, that's plenty of time. We'll do fine. Everything. Nope, I shouldn't say that. Everything is normal. It's an average day, you know, playing this. Well, I was gonna say this average game, but this game is not average. As you know, my opinion of this game is that it is in fact very good. And I suppose we will interact with the arrangement here and go back for the Keyser rather than foregoing the Keyser, which would be kind of foolish. And let's see if we can... Oop, I slipped off. I want to get this guy to blow, and then we can come up here. And now that we have, yeah, the room to deal with him, it's no problem whatsoever. I wonder if his spoil was still here. We didn't have enough time to go back for that other one. Oh, why did I stop running? I let go of my thing thinking, oh, I should stop running, but that was a bad instinct because we only have a minute to get out of here, and we still have some ground to cover. And there's nothing up there, huh? Thought there'd be something up there. Well, all right. We don't need to kill that guy. We are actually a little low on money. How many goodies do we still... We still have 2 goodies, so that's 1,000 gold there. And actually, can I... may I borrow you? Please, can I... There we go. I just want to borrow him so he can make his Frozen Wario, make us slip past the other Yeti unimpeded. So hopefully there'll be enough like jewels and shit in the level to fill out our roster. Oh, there's nothing up here? That is incredibly rude. Why wouldn't they give us any goodies? for bouncing off that boy. Because like in lower difficulties there were like diamonds up there, and they didn't give us jack squat for going up there. No heart, no jewels, no heart. Well, no, obviously no jewels, but you know, no diamond, no heart. Oops, I kind of started to panic and went past that thing. I need to calm down because I don't think we're going to be leaving this level with a 10k regardless of what I do here. So we should just calm down. I say we once again, you know, sharing my failures with you guys when I probably should not be doing that. Take advantage of our invincibility frames here. Best that boy. Pick up this coin, even though I don't think I'm going to get to use it, but we can use the buffer to escape the level. And we'll just run so we can live to fight another day. Yeah, this one seems like it's tight on money. I'm gonna have to do a little bit better than I played in that level. Oh, yeah, the gems don't go into the level into the boss door until you actually complete them. That's interesting. For some reason, I thought it would you could get like a partial gem like fill in there, but yeah, no, the gems don't go in until you actually finish. Oh, and that's a lot of minnows. I just assumed there was gonna be a fourth one there as well. Yeah, just trying to kill us right off the bat in the level. Make us immediately have to restart, which, I mean, you know, if you're gonna have to restart, it might as well be the beginning. Oops, and there are a lot of these minnows. A lot of angry axe boys, but unfortunate for them, they still like aggro at us even once we're in bat, and they cannot best Vampire Bat Wario. Vampire Bat Wario and most transformations on top of that are completely invulnerable to the antics of these axe-wielding fools. God, it's just so weird. They keep bunching them up in groups of 3, like, oh, nope, this is not going great. Let's throw this one at that one, then we'll best this guy with our butt. Because ground pounding is such just a choice way to deal with enemies there, and for some reason I hesitated and didn't do anything. And having difficulties with these guys, even though I'm not being, like, careless anymore, I had difficulties with them. I don't remember if it was in hard mode or if it was in the Let's Play for, you know, in normal mode, I should say. But I started to get like really careless and have a lot of difficulty with these guys, like scoring like pot shots on me because I would just be like running through here, you know, full tilt, and then I would, you know, I'd get hit by their axe, and it was just completely me being careless since they kind of have like an advantage of having a sharp thing that Wario can't really like punch. You can't punch an axe. Well, I mean, maybe Wario's just not hard enough. He should come and have a go if he thinks he's hard enough, but unfortunately for him, maybe he's just not hard enough. Wario should get harder. Wario should get them hard axe-breaking fists, and then they should make a video game where Wario punches axes. Make it happen, Nintendo. Give me that axe-punching Wario Land game that I've been asking for all of 12 seconds. I'm not sure how many seconds. I'm not a counter. I probably should be a counter since math minor, but you know, once again, we know the story. We know the brain. We know the brain and its woes, its difficulties, its problems. And I was about to like go like, oh, we don't have a lot of money, but we really did just start this level, so I probably shouldn't be harsh and that mellow just yet. You know, we'll deal. We'll be fine. It'll all be good. Actually, what happens if I pick him up? Oh, okay, he dies. That answers that question. I was wondering what would happen to the Skullbird if you pick him up and threw him as, you know, mortal Wario as opposed to zombie Wario. But, you know, obviously he dies if you do, like, a charge throw. But now we know if you drop him or, I guess, realistically do a normal throw, they would also die. Because I was wondering, I guess once you make them physical, they're vulnerable for, you know, I was gonna say average Wario, but no Wario is average. You know, with Flamin' Wario having been renamed, I guess we can call this one Hot Wario. Ha cha cha. Spicy. But yeah, I was just wondering if like normal Wario could take care of the skeleton bird once they're made physical, which I guess obviously they are. It's just been a while since we've dealt with these guys, so I'm kind of being forgetful in my old age. So let's go ahead and deal with this guy. This is kind of a weird thought, but or weirdly timed thought. Not a weird thought, I suppose, but it seems interesting that it takes like what 2 passages for the game to decide that the purple pipe puzzle rooms need to start being remixed, and these guys are dealing a lot of damage on us. I do want to get rid of these guys so we don't have to deal with them whenever we come through and collect that jewel piece, whether it's in the post folder or other. Man, and now I just straight up walked into that one. I need these heart blobs, these little hearts. But I have to stay at like on such a defensive position because there's so many of these Minnow-Ohs. They are, I guess, living up to the shard name. And this will take us onwards. There's a wall over here that answers that question. Let's deal with these boys now. And actually, I'm going to deal with these boys with a little help from my friend, because I'm going to jump up here to safety. Wait for him to blast me. Please blast me. Please, Skeleton Bird, can you? Yeah, there we go. Now the rampage can continue. We can deal with all of these fools unimpeded. We have rejected our humanity and have become El Diablo. I was low on health. I kind of panicked there because I was like, I wanted to make a JoJo's reference, but then I started thinking of my JoJo's parody instead, and that didn't go great. I'll see you in that room. I reject my humanity, the Super Mario. Wario, well, I guess it's actually go back to being human. Is Wario human? I've asked this question before, but I still wonder it. I'm not sure. Not sure if Wario, Mario, and the like are human. In fact, well, I was gonna say, is Wario even the same species that Mario is? But I think it's fair to say that they're the same. You know, Wario is very different, like, you know, Bizarro Mario, etc., etc. But you know, they are unquestionably the same species. That's not, you know, that's not a relevant question to be asking. What is a relevant question to be asking is that I think I went the wrong way, because this is the critical path, I believe. So let's go this way. Oh yes, we should be checking up the upstairs before we come down here, I believe. I think that's the way to go, because this will get us to the upper floors where we can get the Keyser, assumedly, if it's in the same position it previously was, and we can get a move on with this level instead of having to, you know, because that would have taken us to the end of the level, and then that wouldn't have been great, because then, you know, we'd be at the end of the level, and we wouldn't have all the stuff, and with you know, shard exit times, we probably would have been bad, and I would have had to replay this level again, and you know, the less levels I have to replay, the better, because I've played these levels quite a few times. You heard me complaining. Did they change this arrangement? No, I'm probably just doing a bad job. I felt for a hot second like that might have been a more difficult jump to make, but I think I was just doing a bad job. We've done... Okay, yeah, we've only done... This is the first purple pipe puzzle room, because the other one's on the other side of the... That would have been the critical path that I just avoided. So we do have at least 1,000 more gold, or excuse me, 500 gold. No, 1,000 gold coming from that, because that's how those work. We have 2,000 gold in collectibles, so we are actually doing pretty good for money. I was starting to kind of worry how we would get it. I feel like there was something I was starting to talk about, and now it's just completely gone. I made the JoJo's joke, so I don't know what more needed to be said, really, and I did a bad job at this, so I'm going to have to do this again, but I think the torch guy died, so we are not in a good spot. I will deal with all of these Totsumen, though, because if we get them out of the way, this arrangement will be a little bit easier. There's one more guy up there, but he doesn't really pose much threat to us, seeing as we'll be on fire by the time we get up there, so not much he can do to us. In fact, I'll even kill him while I'm on fire and come down here and grab his spoils. And we'll leave the torch guy alone, just because he looks... Look how sad their eyes are. I guess, you know, they do have a pretty limited lifespan. They die so easily, and that was no longer the Keyser. I wonder where they have moved the Keyser. This could go badly. And we are doing good for money, so we probably don't need to worry about murking all of these Minnow-Ohs, but might as well just kill them all around our way out, you know, just to be safe. And also, just to be safe, I'm going to check on this way here, just to make sure the Keyser wasn't just, like, placed in the corner there, because that could have gone badly for us. Let's go ahead and flip him over to make him easier to kill. Actually, he's going to go off. Okay, cool. I got him before he was going to go off screen. Alright, cool. I was interested in how that would work, because this is such a weird place. You know, this is obviously supposed to be like the fire escape or whatever for the hotel. And it looks like it's in the same town as Crescent Moon Village, although the sprite background is a different sprite background than what was used in that level. It is just, you know, visually similar. So that's just me, you know, kind of making leaps of logic and just assuming it's the same village. But, you know, it's just kind of an interesting thing because they have that kind of a transparent, like, cage that you're in that stops you from, like, exiting the level. So it's kind of weird to see the enemy, like, hit the wall there and die since the wall's kind of, not traditionally represented, even though, you know, it is there, it is represented. It's not, like, surprising that there is a wall there by any means. But, you know, it's kind of a weird place, and always a weird thing to go out there and just be like, oh, this is part of the level. I kind of wish it was designed a little bit differently. Or, you know, the level was designed a little bit differently. And rather than having, like, a cage for the fire escape, there was maybe, like, a little bit of outside of the hotel you could go to, and they could have, like, reused some of, like, the Crescent Moon Village, like, sprites, so it's not like you're telling an artist, oh, I need you to make more junk for this just, like, really tiny bonus area. I don't know, it would be neat and cool, you know, just to, like, have a small, like, outside of the level proper kind of area, maybe put, like, a purple pipe puzzle room, or, yeah, like, the purple pipe puzzle room that was at the top of those stairs could have totally just been, like, in that area at that point, and I think it would have been neat, like, to have that little outside the, like, level proper area. It'd be reminiscent of like, Gruntilda's factory, Gruntilda Industries, excuse me, not Gruntilda's factory, and Gruntilda's Industry, how there's, like, the outside segment, which, just kind of serves as, like, a, you know, you go to the outside area sometimes, once you're, like, doing the level right, that was a weird way of saying that, you know, that's more or less just there for, once you know, getting into the level proper. Let's go ahead and kill all these Minnows, and I think I will leave that chest there because I don't want to have to make my way back up and have to, like, go do the. Actually, I'm not gonna be lazy. I'm gonna go ahead and just do this proper. Grab the chest while we're here. And can I get that heart? Yeah, cool. I can even get that heart zombie. I was gonna say, like, oh, we can just grab this on our way out, but we might as well just do this right rather than being lazy, because, you know, that could have potentially been, like, one more thing I could have screwed up, and it could have gone badly. But I do think we're going to use that way out, because what else could we do? Oh wait, I don't need to be here. Why am I here? I went the wrong way. That's why. Yeah, because getting to this that, like, fire escape will take some time, and we do have rooms we need to visit, and yeah, okay, yeah, this is the right place to be. I got so thrown off, even though there are freaking maps in every single one of these rooms showing you where you are in the layout of the hotel, but I really just turned myself around. These maps, by the way, are such a cool, nice feature, and, like, oh, you can even see that room 101 isn't accessible. They kind of block it off on the map there, which adds to the lore of the game. Why is that room blocked off? We don't know, but it's not only... Why are there Marumen here? Okay, in hard mode, they added Marumen to this room. There was a single Marumen in this room, but now they just threw in a bunch of them, and they even moved the apple monkey to the top of this segment, making this even they made this arrangement easier, and then gave you a bunch of Marumen to, like, pad out your score. That was really weird. I guess it's just, like, a little, like, maybe a joke on the developer's part of, like, oh, here's just, like, some really easy just stuff, just, you know, whatever. I'll throw more enemies in that room, but, you know, I'll throw in Enemy Zero, which is, you know, a game. I think Enemy Zero is a game, but it's, you know, also the, you know, probably, like, well, I was gonna say probably, like, the way a Marumen would be, like, saved into the game's data, but I have no, like, expertise or knowledge to say that. But, you know, Marumen's, like, the most basic of basic enemies, so it makes sense for them to be saved in some kind of capacity that reflects that. And please go down this ladder so we can continue onwards and get to the... oh, they give us actually more time than I was expecting them to give us to escape this area. Because all we need to do is come in here, and now that's going to be a problem. Now I'm falling through here. Oh, there's actually conveniently a way to get back up here, so that's actually not as much of a time sink as I thought it would be. Seems kind of actually quite nice of them to, like, go ahead and just give you, like, the means to return this area very easily. I also thought it was a bit weird because there was a lantern there that was shining through the wall off to the left there. It's just placed in such a weird spot. I guess they wanted to have the lantern by the door. Lantern, I didn't properly enunciate that. They wanted to have the lantern by the door, but I guess they also, you know, had to fit that room into certain constraints or whatever. And I'm sorry if this fast forwarding is a little weird. But I guess that's that. I'll go back and I'll get this last jewel piece, and then we'll fight Catbat. I almost said the Golden Diva, but it is not, in fact, the Golden Diva. It's Catbat. I very nearly forgot that I didn't get the gold crown in the fiery cavern, but I have corrected that mistake, and I've also opened the door to Catbat so we can come in here and accept our free smile, and I guess also fight Catbat. Yeah, work it. Yeah, sure. We'll work it. We'll work it indeed. God, I wonder how many sound effects are tied to that. It'd be really cool if they had, like, every single sound effect in the game. Well, no, that wouldn't be cool, because then you get some, like, weird ones of, like, Wario's footsteps. So it's probably a good idea that they have the curated list that they did. Look at me! Think about game design and how things work. Who would have guessed that a little bit of that would have happened? Now, Catbat has a little bit of a secret to him, beating him in a timely manner. And one of those is not messing up right off the bat like I just did, having messed up that that first wave that he sent out. I'm not sure how much time we'll need to beat him. With me messing up like that, it's probably not so hot. I should probably restart, but this is going to be a learning curve for me. So I'll probably need to fight him a few times to get this trick down, because the trick to him doesn't apply in this first fight. This first fight you just need, this first part of the fight you just need to perform well. There is no, like, gimmick. It's just, don't do bad, and you'll do good. Well, weird how things work out like that. It's the second half that has a capital T trick to it. And I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to pull it off at all. I'll definitely not be able to beat him in, like, the 10 seconds. Because what people do is they get on topic. Hey, why'd you run away? What the hell was that? He just was like, nah, I'm out of here, dog. I'm not doing any of this right now. What people do is they ground pound Catbat, because, you know, obs, that's what you have to do to injure him. But then they stay on his head. And rather than fall, they just keep bouncing off his head. I'm not 100% sure how it happens, and I'm also not 100% sure how to get on top of his head at this moment. I am not doing a great job. We've already lost 2 treasures. Well, I mean, that one's not lost yet, but, you know, we're not gonna deal 5 damage in the amount of time it took me to explain that train of thought. And man, why am I'm not getting on his head properly? What is up with me? I need to, like, I think rather than I'm jumping onto I was jumping onto his wave, and then, like, the wave was going down. Maybe I need to jump before the wave appears so I can have more time to get up there. But then I was too close to him, and I couldn't make the jump proper. Damn, this is going to be a problem if I can't even get onto his stupid head, let alone, like, do the trick of, like, continuously ground pounding his head. That was a very bad run. I mean, we got him... I was going to say we got him down to his second form in a timely manner, but I actually don't think we did. Let's fast forward. Because, like, by the time we got him to his second form, there was, like, what, 20 seconds left? And I'm not sure how long it'll take to just ground pound him to death. It's very similar to what we did to Cractus, in which we just kind of keep him stun-locked to a regard, but it's, like, you know, a fancier version, whereas as opposed to just kind of chilling out and waiting for things to work out for the best, you need to be a bit more proactive in your approach towards it, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to get on his head and we're going to keep bouncing, and we can't I should have like read up on I'm stuck in the wave. I didn't even know that worked that way. Worked that wave. We're definitely not going to be winning this round since I've already well, I was gonna say we've already messed up twice in this, but now we've messed up a third time, so this is basically a garbage run now. But I expected to take a few playthroughs, you know, a few attempts to figure out how the trick works, but we haven't even gotten like a shot at like learning yet. Haven't been able to get on that boy's head. You know, hop on Catbat. I mean, at that point he has cat. Okay, cool. Now let's get in position so we're super close to him, so we can just kind of ride the wave. Okay, so how do I stay on your head, especially since he's just gonna run away? I guess if you don't hit him and you hop on his head, that triggers him to like immediately retreat. Yes, touching his head without ground pounding while not stunned makes him just immediately run away. So you do have to go for the money once you're on his head, but then how do you stay on him? Because it immediately ejects me off to the direction he's facing. So maybe if I hold the D-pad the opposite way, I'll stay up there. Maybe that's how that works. And okay. Oh yeah, like I held the D-pad in the opposite direction and I stayed up there, but it fired me off a little too far. So this is going to be an interesting game of like trying to correct my my positioning and making this work. And I guess I didn't bounce on his weak spot, so that didn't make him despawn. I'm doing bad at actually just getting on his head. What is up? Oh. We started to do it there. Although granted, that was just mostly like panic button pressing and not a controlled attempt, and we're about to lose anyways. So even if I did manage to get up there, we would have 0 treasures, and that'd be bad. And then we would I mean, we'd still finish with the canon Princess Shakura. I mean, it's debatable about like the canonicity, the canon of this game, because it's like is the teenage princess Shakura the true one? Is that just like okay, the way I always took it, and I'm going back to story discussion, which we did last episode, so excuse the faux pas. I think that's how you pronounce that word. But I always assumed that when she died, she was like a teenager or whatever, or died sealed in a cat, same difference. And I assume like maybe just like, oh, since she's being whisked away to heaven regardless, this is what she would have been as an adult. I don't know. I don't get how this shit works. I don't know how anything works. I can't even beat stupid Catbat, which Catbat is such an easy boss, like in normal mode, despite the problems I had with him, which were mostly due to controller problems. I feel like honestly all the issues I had with him in normal mode were all controller problems, but I don't like to be that guy to be like, oh, it's because the controller was bad, even when it legit was. But I don't want to pass the buck, because I was gonna say I didn't handle it perfectly, but I probably handled it about as well as you could, and nope, that did not go great. I was holding down on the D-pad, and I kind of need to stop that ground pound, because ground pounding is not gonna help me out once I'm in there, because I just need to continue bouncing on his head. I might just need to straight up just after this attempt go read up how to do it, because we're not even like getting into like position to like attempt to do it. Like in all of these tries, like I've maybe gotten onto his head and attempted to bounce correctly once. Maybe I need to be hitting A more, because I'm just kind of letting Wario's bounce, because whenever you ground pound, you kind of have a recoil off. Maybe I need to hop in like the same moment I land the ground pound to kind of make Wario jump in a certain way. And I need to figure out how to utilize this wave to no, that's just gonna. Ooh, well, I got on top of it eventually. Yeah, I'm not doing this right. I think this is gonna be the last attempt. I mean, not obviously I'm gonna keep trying, but I'm gonna go find some research materials and then get back to the cat battle. The cat battle. Oh no, the game. Okay, that was scary. The game like locked up the moment he died. Let's see, how long have I been at this? And my recording is working. Good. Oof. Okay, I've been at this for a little over 20 minutes. 26 minutes. Yeah, that's the right math. I'm a math minor, I can do this. So yeah, that took 26 minutes, almost as long as Aerodent, but doesn't feel as much of a trial. the secret to beating Cat Bat. So as you saw, I just kind of stayed on his head and kept like ground pounding off of him. And the secret to doing that was just holding down A and continuously ground pounding. Excuse me, and you kind of just stay in place rather than getting ejected off as you normally would. On top of that, I would just kind of do small corrections, because whenever you hit him, he kind of moves. And at that point, you kind of keep ground pounding, but you try and autocorrect at that moment. So that was good. I feel good. Let's go to the Golden Passage. We're gonna destroy the Golden Passage now. It's the Golden Passage ain't got nothing. The Golden Passage could potentially be a problem because, you know, as it was before, it is still entirely timed. We only have 3 minutes and 30 seconds to do it, on top of having to get all of the treasure we require. And I am unsure. Oh, that's bad. I'm just gonna go ahead and restart this. Oh, no, yeah, restarting still not going too hot. It might be in our best interest to just give up from here on out, since the game has been acting weird here at the end of this LP, which generally I would not want to like release like episodes with this, but you guys have seen the game before. It's fine. It's cool. We're all friends here. We know Wario Land 4 is a very good game that normally runs very well, even when emulated. But for some reason, the game is starting to give up the ghost this late into being played this far. I said it earlier, but maybe its old bones are just tired. You know, it's been a long time, you know, since 2000 whatever. 2001 for the Game Boy Advance, the year 2001. Yeah, I didn't forget the goof. I never forget a goof, but yes, I forget goofs sometimes. And this was the wrong one to go up. I don't know if I can correct enough to. Oh, yep. Oh, nope. I'll keep. No, yeah. Let's just go ahead and reset. That was a. I don't know how much. Or I don't know how lenient the time is for this level, so I don't want to take a risk on you know, something as minor as that. Mess up this early on. I feel like, you know, we might as well just reset and roll with it. In fact, I should probably just barrel through this room. Like, oh, that's why I don't want to barrel through this room. I was like, why don't I just barrel through this room? There's no problem with it. But that's the problem with it. We end up missing that diamond because Wario doesn't get the vertical leap he needs to pick up the diamond while dashing. So we can dash at least past this this first platform, and then we'll come to a stop right here. We'll go ahead and there we go. Now we are good, and we can return to dashing. All good in the hood. And this time we're going to do this properly. Break these, get frozen, and slide on by. There we go. That was very convenient and good for our time. I don't know how lenient 3 minutes and 30 seconds is. Because if you remember in normal mode, we had like 9 minutes to do this entire level. Like, that's, you know, way too much time. But I mean, I've said my piece on normal mode being like the most accessible mode because, you know, obviously it would need to be. But here, this is big boys only. Only the largest of boys, only the largest of the gender-neutral boys, can do this part. I love using the phrase boys, because boys is just such a fun word. But I always get worried that, you know, it's gonna be a little like exclusive, because I mean, you know, boy, you know, it very clearly denotates a gender, but you know, just. I love using boys gender neutrally, like as you would like guys or something like that. Like, I mean, that one is also, you know, still heavily gendered, but I don't know. But hey, here we are. We're playing Wario. Oh, I guess we don't need to come down for this diamond. This probably would have been a good diamond to skip, since we get 2,000, not 12, 12,000 coins in this level with the cases. So now we can skip one, or we can skip 2 diamonds, and I probably should have skipped this diamond as well, since we would have been all good in the hood. But hey, here we are. I've made mistakes. We still have 2 minutes to get out of the level. That should be fine. I'm not convinced. Oop, that would probably been the nail in the coffin there, had that not worked out. Now, unfortunately, we do have to go through this Vampire Bat Wario segment twice to collect both of these chests. Or not both these chests, but you know, we have to collect that chest and then escape. So as slow as the Vampire Bat Wario is, we will have to deal with it. Nope, we need to go down first. We need to go activate these, and we will still be going out that way. So we will still be collecting that diamond. There's a diamond down there, right? I think there's a diamond that way out. So we will still be going over 10K, which will give us a little bit of leeway on our way out, which is probably for the best, because I don't know how much time we're gonna have to do this. Well, I mean, I know how much time we have to do this. I just don't know how well my skill is going to come through. And cool, Dr. Arrowstein. Oh, I heard that. That sounded painful. Thank you once again for your service, Dr. Arrowstein. I wasn't sure if that throw was going to reach, but luckily it did. And lo and behold, we are golden, and we are going to be escaping with every single diamond in this level. And we still have plenty of time. So it turns out 3 minutes and 30 seconds is, I'm not going to say generous, but, you know, very, very doable. In fact, yeah, I'm actually going to take that back. It is incredibly generous. We're going to be leaving the level with like 30 seconds left. You know, we've had some close calls, but here we are, golden passage, boom, no problems whatsoever. I guess it wasn't our first try. That was like, what, our third, since I kept messing up there at the beginning. But we're all good in the hood. And, oh, yeah, we didn't heal at all, so, hey. I also didn't consider the, I put it on, like, an on-screen annotation in episode 10 about, like, oh, the amount of health, or the amount of, money you can get, because when I was playing it previously, I hadn't considered the coins you got from jewel chests. But hey, there we are. We did it. We're good. We found out you can get a little bit of extra money from your health, and I hadn't actually considered that. So sorry to interrupt your episode viewing pleasure. I already did that once. But there is something I forgot to record in my initial recordings for this episode, in which I forgot to show off that Wario's Home Run Derby gets a little bit of a facelift in shard mode. In that, the pitcher has now been replaced with the cheerleader, and the cheerleader has some like weird tells to show you like what's going on here. Oh, and your bat's pink now. I don't think the bat was previously pink. So yes, for some reason this is the only game that gets, mini game that gets more difficult in shard is Wario's Home Run Derby, and the reason I'm guessing is because it's probably was the most lucrative way of making money previously, so they probably just wanted to make it a little bit harder, and also I guess, you know, the Japanese really like baseball, so it was probably like, oh yeah, let's, you know, just make the baseball game just a little bit extra special. You know, it's the national pastime of Japan, as everybody knows. And I'm probably not going to do great here. I've actually never played the shard mode of this minigame. And as you saw in the normal mode playthrough, I'm not particularly great at this. I mean, granted, I was dealing with input lag back then, and now I'm just dealing with the good old brain lag. I seem to be able to hammer out these fouls relatively consistently, but the home runs, they evade me for the most part. But we've managed to struggle our way through 2-3. I'm gonna keep going to see if I can get to the little halftime where the cheerleader runs out, but I'm not banking on it, and I'm guessing a cheerleader just still runs out. And there we go. It took a little bit of struggle, but we did it. Oh, and I don't know if the cheerleader is different, but I mean the cheerleader that's pitching and the cheerleader who came out do in fact vary. So I guess I'll just keep trying till I lose, which will probably be sooner than later. It was, in fact, immediately. So here we are for the Golden Diva, the end of the game. Let's go ahead and fast forward through this, and this is probably going to be a big problem. So please give me a good free smile and sound. Okay, dogs and birds. Okay, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about the Golden Diva. Okay, we're not gonna. I was gonna pump myself up and say we're gonna do this on our first try and it's gonna be awesome, but I mean, we're not gonna do this on our first try. I didn't do it on our first try in normal mode. I mean, I did pretty decently on hard. Honestly, Aerodent took me more tries to be Aerodent. It took me more tries to be Aerodent on hard than it did the Golden Diva. So here we are. It is time to beat the Golden Diva 100% legit. No items, and I will right the wrongs that I committed in normal mode by using an item to display a unique cutscene. But, you know, regardless of doing that, you know, I committed the taboo of using an item, despite the fact that I said that we'd be legit and not be item buyers. But here we are, or here we were buying items. We're out of the game now. We ain't buying no items from nobody. No siree, Miss Game & Watch, Miss Shopkeeper, who is secretly Shakura, but, you know, we had no way of knowing that. We just knew that she was a cat. I mean, there was plenty of evidence that, you know, the shopkeeper was the cat, but, I mean, you know, we didn't know what the cat was. We were just like, this cat followed us in, and for some reason has some stake in what is going on here. Now, the entire trick to the Golden Diva is, once again, execution. There is... aside from the hammer thing that I mentioned, where if you, oh, that's not going to hit her properly. Man, that's a wasted time. I saw a thing that people would, yeah, there we go, where people would just jump into her like that. Whenever she drops the ball, just jump straight into her. And man, why am I not grabbing the egg? There we go. That did not go well. I don't think we're on track to win unless I, like, majorly abuse this hammer, because like I said before, the hammer is the speedrunner like thing of the speedrunner tool of choice, and that you can kind of like very quickly hit her a fair amount of times with it. I mean, obviously it must be the fastest way because it's what they use in speedruns, and those guys, you know, they guys, once again, gender neutral. I'm very bad about, like, oh, I like using guys, I like using boys, dude, all that, and it's probably not it's probably not the worst habit, but it's not a great habit. But, you know, I'm very lazy with my speech, as you're probably very well acquainted with. And, oh, yeah, with the Golden Diva. So we have 4 minutes to beat her, but her chests start disappearing at the 2-minute mark. So we realistically, you know, get 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 seconds to beat her. And, man, I wanted to use both the ball and the bug, but that did not go out so well. I don't think we're on track to beat her properly. Maybe if I just pull like a Hail Mary, but I don't think that's about to happen. Oh, no, the hammer disappeared. Yeah, maybe. Oh, wait, she's in her final form. Maybe. Let's see what we can do. Oh, no, we were close. I mean, we could still get her. We could still do... you know, we could still get her for the once again, the young princess, young cheeky princess, as I've seen referred to it as before. But I ain't about that life. I will take one kiss, and then we will reset, which I'm actually gonna have to. Why is it? Oh, I had my fingers on the wrong buttons. I was like, why is my reset not working? That was actually pretty good for a. That was our first attempt, right? Yeah, I feel like that was pretty solid. Yeah, let's go in there. I'll give her one more try because she's a bit of a longer. I mean, she's twice the length, which I mean I guess is, to be fair, a longer boss fight than the other ones. I'll give her a few more goes before I go into serious concentration mode because I felt really good about that. Well, you know, honestly, and I feel like I made some pretty, you know, silly mistakes that I feel like I can correct pretty quickly. Please excuse the fast forward there. That's a decently lengthy cutscene. So we might as well just blast through it to the best of our abilities. Not waste any of your time or mine, so we can just kind of blast through, get back into the fight, and that didn't go great. And you know what happens when things don't go great? We reset, and then we sit here and ponder why the game has started to lag like this. I wonder if it has anything to do with the Procon X input thing. I can't be sure, and I don't want to blame it on it. My CPU usage is a little bit higher, but I mean, it's still like only at like 12%. Like, you know, my computer shouldn't be like lagging at 12%. So I don't know. Maybe it's interacting with the emulation in a weird way. Maybe the game is just tired from its long journey. And now that I just said that, I think there are a few things that I tried to bring up earlier in the episode. I don't know if I completed those thoughts, but right now we are locked into Mortal Kombat, and I will discuss them later if I do remember, which, as we all know, unlikely, very much so unlikely, because I had just this sinking suspicion, like, oh, I forgot to talk about something, didn't I? And then it like completely went away, and this is not a good boss fight. Which isn't to say that the Golden Diva isn't a good boss fight. I mean, that just wasn't a good run of that boss, and I should have probably nuked it in the way I did so we could restart, because we can't dilly-dally, shilly-shally. I think that's the way that quote goes. I don't know. I'm not a Final Fantasy fan. But I have seen that movie for whatever reason. I feel like that quote might also be used in Kingdom Hearts, but that just might be my brain filling in, you know, that's basically my entire knowledge of, oh man, that went very badly. I honestly feel like I should reset already. I did so well in that first attempt. I mean, so well. I mean, I obviously didn't do well enough, but I did fairly well, especially for a first attempt coming in. Well, I mean, I was gonna say cold, but I mean, I've been playing the game, and how else would you prepare for this other than playing the game? I mean, I'm not, Golden Diva like practiced up. Like, I'm cold in terms of preparedness to beat the Golden Diva vis-a-vis, just fighting the Golden Diva over and over again. I did well, and I'm going to stick to that. I did well in that first attempt, and I need to hit the stupid bug, and it's not going well. And I cannot utilize my body like that every single time to take advantage of that, especially since we can do that against the ball. And I should be very careful because, we could run out of health. And it would suck to have, like, a good run, but then just run out of health. And I've probably messed up with this duck. Man, what is up with this duck egg? For some reason, there's some things whenever you pick up, you should be holding up on the D-pad. And sometimes it feels like you shouldn't. And I don't know the rhyme or reason. And let's see. If I can't, like, just totally abuse Spring Wario here, this is probably not going to be a great run. But, let's try it. Oh, nope, I've missed with Spring Wario, so this is probably forfeit, especially if I'm going to throw the hammer into her head. And I didn't want to break out into sing-songy stuff, because, it's always a little annoying. Man, and why... I don't get Springy Wario for some reason. Across every single controller, even this one where I've had no issues thus far. It's like, for some reason, Springy Wario, I can't get it to do the damn thing. It won't do the damn thing I want it to do. And the damn thing I want to do is I want to bounce whenever Springy Wario, starts springing. I want to do it. But for some reason, I can't, like, get it, like, to happen, like, relatively, I can't get it to happen, like, on command properly, and I would like to utilize that ball, but I don't think that's going to be happening. We only have 10 seconds left. Once again, time's a little off because I tend to round down. So this fight's forfeit. This fight is bad. Can we? Nope, we can't. We can't do anything. This fight's over. I give up. Okay. Round 4. I'm going to call this round 4. I'm also going to call it round 4 because 4 is my favorite number and thus contains some luck. Maybe it contains some luck. A lucky number 4, maybe? I don't know. Always did like the number 4. I've probably talked about it in previous LPs about my reasons why, so I won't bore you guys with the details because what we really need to focus on is beating up this spectral form of this middle-aged woman who has a very scary face and too much makeup on, and a lot of masks. A lot of masks. Like, way too many. She is wearing way too many masks. Her face probably looks like, not like her face, but like, wearing all those masks, it probably just looks like a stack, like a little tower coming off horizontally off of her face. That would look so great in 3D just to see, like, this just weird mask stack mask, and she keeps bumping into my hammer. Man, Spring Wario, I don't dislike Spring Wario, but for some reason it just does not bounce for me. So much for lucky attempt number 4. But here's number 5, and you know what they say, 6 times the charm, as they always say. The famous saying, 6 times the charm. We'll, of course, be able to, on this 6th time, be imbued with the power of the charm, and that was bad, but I'm not going to reset over that, even though I probably should, because small hiccups like that early on are easy to recover off. If you make a mistake early on, you should always restart, as I always say, and would never say anything contradictory or to denotate otherwise. I've always held that opinion, and that was a small mistake, and I'm going to roll with it, despite what I was just saying. Human beings are contradictory creatures filled with... We fill our lives with whimsy and merriment and treasure and golden accessories, but at the end of the day, we're all just weirdos wearing way too many masks on the inside, on the outside. It doesn't really matter where your mask is. You're hiding your true self from somebody, and it's gonna, regardless of the exteriority of the mask. Don't at me. I'm not an English major. I don't know how things work. I do, however, would like to know how egg work. Knowing how egg work would be mighty handy, mighty dandy. Let's go ahead and get... Okay, I was going to get on the other side of the Golden Diva, but that didn't go so hot. So something interesting, once again, getting back to the story discussion that we had last episode, rather than containing it in the previous episode. It just can't be contained. We're going to keep talking about story stuff. I think it's interesting that ghosts are as prevalent as they are in Wario Land 4. Like, all of the bosses are ghost-like to some degree. Like, Practice has the like a ghostly wispy tail. So does Cuckoo Condor's like true body. Aerodent's mousy bit has like the mouse parts like has the ghosty wisp, and Catbat, you know, also has the ghosty like wispy thing going on. And the Golden Diva even is even translucent. So it's kind of interesting that ghosts are as prevalent as they are in Wario Land 4, and I'm guessing it has something to do with like. I'm guessing the prevalence of ghosts has something to do with like the true story of this game, the story that we aren't told because Wario doesn't care. He wasn't here for the old civilization that used to exist in the Golden Pyramid. You know, he was here for treasure. He didn't read any of the case files. He didn't listen to any of the briefing codex. He ran past all of your audio logs and any you know, diaries on the ground because he straight up didn't care. He was here for one thing, and that was to make a profit. You know, not even a profit. Wario isn't like Wario's Scrooge McDucky, but he isn't like, ooh, you know, me. He isn't like, ooh, me money bin and my company. He's just like, ooh, me money bin. How much money can I get? What that coin do though? That's what Wario's about, and this isn't going so hot. Oh, no, please. Okay. There we go. Okay. So I can't tell you how long that took because I ended up having to split the recordings. I've been sitting here for 40 minutes, though, trying to do that before work. I thought, hey, I woke up a little bit early today. I'll get in a few attempts at the Golden Diva before I have to go. So here we are. I think I probably tried for maybe 20-30 minutes in the previous recording. I'll put the proper added up time at the top of the screen, though. But there we go. We have finished Shard Mode. No items, completely legit. I hope that I've redeemed myself for the item usage in normal mode against the Golden Diva, now that I have done the much harder difficulty, sharder difficulty of defeating her on Shard. No items, completely legit. You guys saw the footage. There was no Miss Game & Watch popping in and helping us out. This little kitty cat didn't stroll in as in man form to be like, hey, I'm gonna turn into a black dog or, you know, an apple bomb give you the little assist you needed. Nah, that was just all smashing my head against the wall and hoping for the best. One thing I did learn during that fight, my difficulties with Spring Wario seem to stem from a misunderstanding on how to activate it. It seems holding down A is the better way to get Wario to, like, you hold down A, and then when he hits the ground, he'll start to jump. Seems to work better than what I'd been doing previously before, was just furiously mashing the jump button, hoping for the best. But we've done it. We've finished Shard, and sorry if this sounds a little different or a little rough in comparison to the previous audio. I've been awake for 50 minutes. I woke up, put rice on, because I needed to make rice for lunch, and then I started doing this. So here we are, Princess Shakura, true form, or the best form, whatever, 12 treasure form, in Shard mode. We've done it, we've done it, we've done it. We've completed this game 100%. There ain't nothing left for us to do. There's no more content. There's no more content after the credits. This is absolutely it. No more Let's Play. This is the last episode. You could see the word end in the thumbnail. It's the end. There is no more. That is not a goof. There is, however, no content past the credits. So that was the Japanese credits theme. For some reason, it's the only song that differs between any of the regions of the game, which is a little strange because, you know, there's songs with English lyrics like the beginning, the work it, you know, that's across all the regions of the game. You know, there's Palm Tree Paradise's theme, which is, you know, a lady singing softly in Japanese, which is the same across all regions. So it's kind of interesting that, you know, only that credits theme was changed and nothing else was. Weird change, but, you know, both versions of the song are good, so I'm not going to complain. I wish there was a way, you know, playing it in an English copy, you could hear it, you know, just like maybe some setting or on a different difficulty, you could hear it. But, you know, whatever. We've heard it now, so there's that. I've already talked about my, you know, feelings on this project, you know, at length about, like, you know, wanting it to be the best possible product I could have made and putting, all the stops out. I've already talked about that at length. I've already told you guys my opinion of the game. You know, that I really like this game, obviously, and it's my favorite Wario Land game. And playing this game to death, as I have for this Let's Play, did not change that opinion. So what I do want to talk about is the act of completing this game, playing it to 100% completion, as I have, you know, going through all the difficulties, getting all the treasures, you know, all the gold crowns you can get, which is basically all of them with the exception of hard mode, Hall of Hieroglyphs, all the CDs. You know, I would recommend playing this game 100% on a difficulty at any given time. If you do want to play it on higher difficulties, it's probably a better thing to be left to, like, oh, next time I play this game, I'm going to come back on a harder difficulty and not play it like it's a platinum game where it's like, well, I finished this, time to crank up the difficulty and see what, you know, this has in store for me. What's you know, the higher difficulties of Wonderful 101 like? This game isn't like that. It's just, you know, something to remix the experience just a little bit for, you know, people who love the game and are going to come back to it a bunch of times. Like, you know, like I had a lot of fun beating my head against the wall for those bosses, even though I also hated it because I was beating my head against the wall to beat those bosses. But, you know, I really like this game. Would not recommend playing it in the way I did. Granted, I played hard mode twice, etc., etc. I played this, you know, game a whole bunch of times for this Let's Play, as I've previously said. But hey, if you do like the game and aren't burned out after a playthrough, hell yeah, you know, go for a higher difficulty. I do recommend the higher difficulties. They're fun. Just maybe not back to back in the way I have. I kind of just milked this game for everything it could offer because I really liked it and wanted to do it justice and show off everything it had to offer. So, you know, if I was Gerard Beardman Dragon Rider Khalil. Is that how you say his last name? I don't know. Completionist guide, give it a finish it. You know, whatever. It's a good ass game, but you know, playing it, just milking it for everything it's worth is probably not worth your time. You're gonna get your money's worth from a playthrough. It's a good game. It's a fun game. Oh, I also didn't mention that Wario drives a hover car in the super hard at credits. Kind of interesting. Also, this image here, which only appears in the super hard ending, gets realized. Like Wario actualizes it into reality. It's not just some weird, translucent image over the sunset, something Wario's thinking about. No, Wario actualized those ladies enjoying him in front of his non-canonical red sports car, because as we all know, purple Wario car or bust. So that's the Let's Play. It's done. It's finished. There's nothing left. Nothing after the credits. As I've said previously, this is it. We've done everything we can do in the game. I hope you guys have enjoyed the Let's Play. And if you haven't, I'm not entirely sure why you watch this far, but your reasons are your own. Stakes! Eat as much as you can. $10. The end. Push start. That's it, for real. Nothing left. Hello there. Ukurere mitaina. Tabaiwo. Ashio. Ariute iko. Tsukino. Kakeraro hiro ni rigara chizuno kawarini kayanbasu. Nijino shizukude some masho. Hinodine maina aya oni boyaketa toko iwa oti eko umiini taima iki tokashite ishiine kowo kizamo sukiwo supini ukabetara hiragarano kumaaga awaru. I tried my best, and that's more than I thought I would do. So there's that. I suppose. Yep. That's a wrap. That's it. See you guys in 7 years.